Today, Fae folk stole the rest of this intro.
You're not supposed to eat.
ChillPoint, that's what it is.
You're not supposed to eat their food.
I know, but it was so delicious.
I know, it's really good. They have the best cooking blogs, but still, you're not supposed to.
They get right to the recipe. They don't bother with the story about September 11th.
They didn't have September 11th like we did.
No, exactly.
They can't write those
Different
stories.
calendar.
Yeah.
Altogether, yeah.
Well,
Hey!
maybe the changelings could, but you know.
Hey everybody, welcome to ChillPoint, show where we talk about video game news, also noise. Also the news,
Video game noise.
the noise that is made by the news in the video game world.
Let's face it, without the video game noise, there would be no news.
It's true. There's a lot of incoherent screaming in the video game world.
Yep.
We talk about video game news and talk about the episode of ChillPoint that went up yesterday, which if you haven't watched yet, you should. Let's just get into that. The first story we talked about was that they're rebalancing Taz.
Mm-hmm. It's everything I could do to not, when you said video game noise, to not make the Taz noises.
Everyone in the comments was very, very excited that you actually we didn't overdub Taz noise.
Yeah, right?
I mean, I'm excited we didn't have to overdub Taz noise. Do you have any idea how hard it is to dub somebody who
And lip
isn't
flap, yeah.
doing lip flaps already?
Yeah.
Was that something you had? Was that something you had in your back pocket?
Yeah.
Like from improv
From my
improv
youth.
in school.
He was doing it all the last night before the episode.
Because I was just like...
Oh, you were practicing? Oh, he was practicing?
It was...
He kept reading the story out loud and doing the
and
noises.
I'd have to do it, and I'm like, how long do I make this? And where the goes? Where do you put that stuff? And it's like...
You can't. It's not just. It seems so straightforward.
Yeah.
But it's in fact very, very precise.
Yeah, because at what point does it not be funny? But also, how much do you have to do in order to make it really land? So everyone's like, yes, I see what you've done.
Comedy's subjective.
Behind the scenes there, I was originally just going to write it out and put it in one of the lower thirds. And then I realized that it would just be funnier to be like, when asked for comment, an unnamed spokesman said this. And I'm like, yes, that's great. I can do the impression. Why not just do it?
I have to say, the game's called Multiverses.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think it's really clever written out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
I think so too.
Multiverses. Oh, certainly.
Yeah, as in versus each
I'm
other.
probably never going to play it, but
And
I think their title is clever.
It's just super weird to see that it's Warner Brothers and then to see Hanna-Barbera stuff show up, and I'm like, do they own Hanna-Barbera?
I think so now.
Presumably,
I
yeah.
guess.
Warner Brothers owns more than you think.
They own Iron Giant, apparently, because they're in the game, I guess. So, yeah, it was weird.
I mean, just as with Smash Brothers and these kind of games, it does result in these totally bizarre things of here's Velma fighting Taz, the Tasmanian Devil.
Yeah.
And
But,
it's just
but that would be an actual Scooby-Doo episode.
who would win in a fight? That's true.
That is-
Scooby-Doo does
that is-
probably has more crossovers than any show.
Yeah.
It's just it's a weird show because sometimes they're goofy and you take off that mask and it's just old man Jenkins being whatever again. And sometimes they try to take off that mask and that monster's just real for reasons unknown.
Did they ever do a crossover with Archie's Weird Mysteries? Because it seems like they should have.
I
think
don't know what that is.
I thought they did an Archie crossover, but I don't know. Archie's Weird Mysteries is just Archie, but what if
They had a van and they
Weird
solved mysteries.
Weird Mysteries happened?
Yeah.
I thought that was I thought Scooby-Doo was sort of in the Archie-verse.
It is not.
Oh.
No, not whatsoever.
Also, if you're watching Riverdale ever, it's much closer to Archie's Weird Mysteries than anything else in Archie, but still not close to that at all.
Yeah. No, it's true.
Man. When I first heard about Riverdale, I was like I love it just for the I love that it exists. I didn't really want to watch it, but just the idea that somebody pitched that is dark, sexy.
It goes
Archie.
so
Archie.
many. weird places. They have like a drug called Jingle Jangle or something, which is why when we were in the States
Don't
that time.
or something this. You have watched
And-
every episode of
Shut up.
Riverdale.
And when we were in the States, and there was like this ice cream called Jingle Jangle,
Yeah.
I just laughed at it because it's like drugs.
That's the drug. That's always was the drug. It was just really heavy ice cream being served at Pop's Chocolate Shop.
Also, I
and,
haven't watched the whole thing.
No.
I fell off, but I'm kind of want to go back now.
and also apparently they dropped Velma's weight, which I'm
Yeah.
assuming is something to do with the physics, how the physics works.
Yeah, she was actually one of the heaviest characters in there. It was like kind of like, stance, like that kind of thing. That meant that she moves, it's like Bowser, right? You move slower, but you can also resist more attacks.
Yeah.
And they decided that it doesn't really give the balance that we wanted, so we redid her weight. And I'm just kind of like,
Also,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
I bet Velma likes being compared to Bowser.
Right?
That's like a
Yeah.
real like.
10-foot tall dragon
you not-
beast.
Bowser's
creature.
No,
basically-
you're not fat. You're just like
Yeah.
a giant fire-breathing dragon.
Bowser is basically someone's ideal of a goth phase.
Somebody draw Goth Bowser. They did Bowsette. I was like, somebody draw Goth Bowser. I'm like, oh, that's Bowsette. Yeah. I mean,
wouldn't Goth Bowser just be like Bowser with eyeliner and
Yeah.
and,
Well-
and,
Yeah,
and,
he's,
like
he's
wearing
mostly
black
all the way
outfits and
there
stuff?
because
Black
he's
and
already
white,
got
like,
the.
He wouldn't need to turn into.
Have you not seen his golfing outfit?
I'm
It's
just-
black and with flames on it.
I'm
He's
just-
basically goth.
because like when he puts on the wedding outfit, his shell is still out, right?
His shell is out no matter what clothes he puts on.
Exactly. So I'm thinking, but Goth Bowser would be like, no, he'd paint his shell black with white spikes, and he'd put on the eyeliner and stuff.
It'd be like
and-
like a
Yeah.
sprite,
I mean,
yeah.
he could just be an invisible goth.
yeah, or he'd do like some sort of dry bones treatment.
Maybe he didn't feel like he could goth out
Yeah.
publicly.
But regardless, as Chad has pointed out, Velma does lift. We know that. So it's like if you're gonna if you're gonna pick the most muscular character, it's probably low key Velma, and you don't realize it. But yeah, there we are.
It's Bowser it's Bowser Jr. who has like the goth phase.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I probably even have seen that before, and if not, my imagination has
And
just
now-
been made this way by the internet.
And now there's now there's just like a the Switch parental control videos where Bowser is like trying to teach Bowser Jr. stuff. It's like Bowser dealing with how to deal with Bowser Jr. as a goth.
Yeah, he's like
you-
reminds me of Little Nephew from Akewood.
Have either of you played Bowser's Fury?
A little teeny weeny bit, but
So
not.
you remember the storyline for that?
No.
It's, oh, Dad got really angry. It'd be really great if you could calm him down. It's very creepy.
Oh, right. It's like, oh, I don't like the way that makes me feel.
Like ultimately, he's trying to be a good parent in the parental controls videos.
Yeah.
But in that game, he seems to be having a bit of a problem.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, there's an amazing amount of like a good. I mean, especially this particular episode of ChillPoint, update notes have
Been updated.
a large amount of funny stuff in them.
They
often.
sure do.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
So big shout outs to all the developers out there who write fun things in their update notes
Putting in
We-
the
instead
time.
of
Yeah.
instead of just like bug fixes.
Yeah, enhancements.
I mean, I don't blame them for just writing bug fixes sometimes because I feel like it's just like I'm tired. Here's your 8-word letters.
And then speaking of updates, Sims 4, the high school years expansion for Sims 4 is coming out, which is high school years is a paid expansion, but in addition to that, or along with that, they're doing a free update, which adds body hair and the alternate gender and woohoo options.
That's because they don't call it.
Yeah.
They call it woohoo.
Yeah. So it's like I do love the checkbox that it's like, gender and then what kind of person does your sim want to woohoo?
Yeah, because
Male,
before,
female, or not.
before it was essentially like your Sims are romantic pansexual, every sim is just that way.
Yeah.
Is that you can point them at anybody.
So now they've made the ability for straight people to be in Sims.
Exactly. Yeah, I did think that was funny when I saw. It's like, oh, they're adding queer options. It's like, no, they're not. They're adding straight options.
They're just
I
adding any option.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that they have made a the option of like, are you interested in woohoo or are you interested in romance?
Mm-hmm.
Right,
As
the
two
idea
separate
that
things, because those
yeah.
are separate in their own ways.
Yeah.
And but I've like, according to some of our comments on ChillPoint, there's been bugs now on people then being attracted to family members.
Yes.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
Sure, that'll be patched out
stuff
quick.
like that as well. So I mean, you add a new thing, sometimes something else
It's-
breaks. It's
And I mean, of course, there's the sort of overarching weirdness of Sims where you can always just be like, you love this person now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh shit, you're right. Yes. Thank you, God.
Anyway.
also there was hair.
Yeah, so you can, there's body hair
hair.
specifically, and so you can grow it and you can shave it.
The werewolf reference was great since they had put werewolves in the last.
Right, because they
expansion,
previously
yeah.
had werewolves.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, what if we turn the dial down a bit?
And curved walls, which is, yeah, probably a big deal. The funny thing is, I was looking for a picture of curved walls. And I loved the picture that we ended up using for the video, or for the episode of ChillPoint was like the most boring image.
Yeah.
It was just like 3 curved walls
Yeah.
in a field and stuff. But the problem I ran into is that I had to be careful because there were a lot of like how to do curved walls in The Sims that are like a couple years old, right? So it's like people
Oh.
had come up with like weird hacky ways of doing curved walls.
So that's what you do though when you're developing for like the Sims 4 game though, right? You're just looking up YouTube videos to see what people are trying to hack into your game, and you're
Right,
like,
exactly.
that's what they want. I guess we'll make that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll make that. It's like, oh, if you like put these 3 items together and then delete one of them, it gets like into a weird state.
So if it's because what we saw, of course, the bog standard walls that you put up were 3 convex quarter round walls. That's all it was. Are they saying that you can make concave walls? That would be interesting.
The sky's the limit.
Yeah. Like how much can you curve it? Can you only quarter round it? Can you have long sweeping curves?
I don't know. I
Geodesic
mostly
domes.
mostly played around with the character creator and then just picked a pre-built house because I couldn't be bothered to build the house.
Like it would be rad if you could build a geodesic dome, especially because if you're like, I want to build a dome, it's like, okay, so build a dome. How big do you want it? I want it to be bigger than this. You just drag out a handle and the thing just goes, and it just kind of like reticulating splines and starts adding more triangles and shit to it. And like, yeah, that's what I would love to see. But I don't even play the Sims.
We've got curved walls. Maybe domes are a separate thing rather than
Yeah.
curved walls. I don't know. Oh yeah, and they feed their toddlers now,
Thank God.
which is
I
good.
get those bug fixes in,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's probably accompanied with some with thing where it's like now they just like force feed their toddlers. The toddlers like,
It's-
no, I don't want any food.
I mean, I could totally see it being a thing of you just have Sims forgetting and walking away. Because sometimes when you try to make a Sim do things because you're like, no, you have to do your homework, and they really don't want to, they will just curse you and go off and do what they want. Like,
Sim, I am God. Do your homework.
Yeah, not
Or-
today, God.
Or I will unleash a plague upon your house.
I mean, I always thought it was really funny when they cursed the sky.
Yeah.
They actually do that?
They did in my games.
When something, well, I mean, a lot of people died in your games.
Look, it's not my fault that the house set on fire and they wouldn't leave.
I mean, look, you're playing the game as it's made. Like you weren't doing anything wrong. It just was horrifying to hear you talk about it.
That's why I talk about it. Though
Yes.
it's fun to watch people be horrified.
Jesus Christ, they did what? Okay, great. She was a maid for how long?
Oh, right, yeah. This is the one where the maid like moved in and then wouldn't leave.
Yeah,
stopped being a maid.
No, the maid. I fired the maid, and the maid wouldn't leave. So I had them move in because I was like, well, fine, I can fire you then, and No, wait, that was the nanny. Though I decided that if I had the maid move in, maybe she would just continue to be a maid for free and I wouldn't have to pay her. And then she just stopped being a maid entirely, and I had to hire another maid. It's a video game. I'm allowed to do these things.
Please do not
The
call
nanny.
her out on, if I can just get a woman to move into my house, she'll be my maid for free. Please do not. That she said it was not me who said any of that.
The nanny, on the other hand, I fired her, wouldn't leave the house, so I tried to hire another nanny to prove to her that she should leave, and she
Right.
wouldn't. And then that other nanny also wouldn't leave, and I just had like a cycle of nannies who would not leave, even though they were not paid to do anything because they were fired. They wouldn't actually do anything, but they take up all the bed space, so no one had any place to sleep.
Including the children, I'm sure.
Yes.
Can you hire like a bouncer to like just? It's like your job is to keep people out of my house.
So you set the house on fire so that the firemen will come rescue these people and pull them out of the house.
Somebody left a thing in the stove and went to school. There was no one home. The maid showed up and just stared at the fire until she died in flames.
How is there-
Then became a ghost and then killed the person who left the toaster.
There's 9
running
people living
by
in this
scaring
house.
them
How
to
are none
fright.
of them
And because
home?
they were the only person left and they died, I got a game over and death showed up.
Wow.
Right.
Sims is amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
Grand Theft Auto
Yeah.
is a game that is also amazing,
Mm-hmm.
That's what I hear.
there's fire and people dying sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
it's sure hot.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto Online is they're having there's a new expansion coming out, Criminal Enterprises, that apparently oil companies are moving into San Andreas and
Other big business as well, but it's
yeah,
yeah.
are causing all sorts of trouble, and also there's like it's really hot and things in the town. Although I don't know what implications that has actually mechanically in the
They
game.
kind of take more of the facile approach to the fact that it's like gas prices are high and the oil companies are moving in and that's what's making gas prices high. I'm like, no, it's
like
not.
But it's also in GTA, you never buy gas.
No, you just drive around.
You drive around, and then when you need a new car, you steal it.
Yeah.
Right? Like
I thought other people drove you around.
You could also do that.
Yeah.
Or they'll
okay.
drive you like through a wall or something.
Yeah.
They're not that reliable.
Okay, yeah.
What I love the idea of San Andreas or Grand Theft Auto, like the city of San Andreas and Grand Theft Auto, like this idea that there's this city, like that the rest of the world of Grand Theft Auto is like normal, but
Right.
there's this city where literally 3/4 of the population are criminals.
Yeah.
Like 3/4 of the population are actively stealing from basically all the other people who are all the NPCs
why
operating
did they move there?
Yeah.
Why would you be an
there's-
NPC in this?
there's, like the entire population of the city are NPCs that like just people who like own businesses.
Yeah.
And then people who steal from those businesses. There's nobody just like doing office work or anything.
Yeah, exactly.
And so then like this this oil company that's like, we've got a monopoly and, we're throwing our weight around, like moves into San Andreas and just is like, holy crap, we cannot deal with this.
It's like they didn't know what they
like-
were getting into.
Yeah, and they just like drive into town and just like all the wheels are suddenly gone from their car. And the like tanker truck is being driven away by somebody else.
It's like, oh, what are they doing?
Somebody's
Stealing
got
my oil,
Somebody's got a flamethrower. It's just lighting everything on fire. It's like, this is not workable.
Oh, San Andreas is the state. Los Santos is the city. I see.
Oh.
Yeah, the whole state apparently is just like is like a complete write-off. Like they're just like, oh, it's just this terrible place, and the state is going whatever. And yeah, I don't know anything about the game, which is why it's like I always refer to San Andreas as the city, but it's the state. Cool.
Yeah. I guess, it's like, well, we didn't want to move here, but property is so cheap.
Yeah, right. It's like you get it for a steal.
Well, except actually, the property market is the one that like you do like you have to buy stuff. I don't know why.
And everyone respects that. you
yeah,
know?
everyone respects that.
Generally, when you steal something,
Yeah.
you take it with you, and it's hard to move the house.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm guessing is probably why.
You know what they say? It's property laws 90% theft.
I always loved the thing we talked about it way back in the day, but when they put in a casino, right? This was the joke for ChillPoint was that they literally put in a casino into the game, Like they're not pretending it's like, oh, it's just like a surprise mechanic. It's like a fun thing.
Yeah.
They're like, no. You are literally like going to a casino and playing roulette. We're not pretending that this isn't gambling. But they had this thing where you couldn't fight in the casino.
Yes.
It was there was no PvP.
People would hit you outside
in the casino. So there would be just people hanging at the door of the casino to gank anyone who came out. And also to repeatedly kill the doorman, who is just an NPC who sat there, who, he comes back to life after you kill him. He's just an NPC, so he would just get killed over and over again.
You kind of have to have that quality for that job, I guess.
What a unique version of hell you've created for this person.
Yeah.
Why can't GTA build a city on rock and roll and revive like the Guitar Hero franchise?
That sounds like fun. Yeah, Rockstar should do like GTA, but they should do it with Guitar Hero instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's. So for the Nier Automata story, there is actually new info that has come out about that. So this is about this secret area that somebody found, or at least demonstrated. And nobody seemed to be able to figure out whether this is actually like a real thing or like some weird marketing campaign. And everybody and people being very coy about it, and it turns out that
Sad Futago.
Sad Futago, who was the one who originally put it out there, did a stream last night, at 1:30 a.m. our time.
They saw that we had posted this video and they kind of panicked like when Checkpoint went up, because they're like, it's gotten to Checkpoint at this point.
They're like, well, the jig's up now.
Yeah.
We have to say something.
We gotta come clean.
Get your story to Checkpoint. You know it's gotten too big.
Yeah, if they've heard about it in Canada, then we know that by now too many people know about this.
So so it turns out that apparently it was indeed a mod. It was 3 different Nier mod developers that have developed some new techniques for how to do it, and this is how they were going to. And so this is how they were like, this will be a fun way to show it off.
Yeah.
And then it kind of got away from them a little bit.
What I love is the kind of
it's a big reveal of the modding tools are there.
Yeah, and it's and they're saying it's bleeding edge. It's a huge leap forward. It's all these kind of things. And what I love is the kind of is it hubris? I don't know. Let's explore this, and we'll see what the right term to use for this is. The stance of the modders that up until this point are like, oh, this could be a mod, but we have no technology. There's no process. There's no way to mod anything like this in Nier Automata. Like, how could you even do this? We're at the state of the art, and we know how to do the best thing you can possibly do. And how could you possibly mod this? So something else must be real. And it's that kind of like, I guess it almost seems more like arrogance rather than hubris, where it's like you're kind of like, but no one could do this better than I. And it's like, well, then 3 guys showed up and did.
Well,
it's not just like one person saying they can't do it.
But it's the community being like, we've achieved the ultimate, and it's like, but you haven't.
It is, and people who know the content of the thing being like, there isn't, an existing way to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily ignorance or hubris or arrogance or any of those things so much as it's just a thing of like, there's no way that could be a mod, because how on earth would you even do it?
Right. That kind of like, I feel it's almost closed-mindedness to be like, there's no way you could do it currently, so there's no way it does exist as a mod. And that's the thing where I'm like, well, then people actually be like, if it is a mod, that means they've discovered new ways to do it, and we should look into that. Well,
and I think it was more like, if this is a mod, people in the know that it would take a ridiculously large amount of work.
Right.
And so they figured nobody would do that. They did not count on people actually wanting to put in that much work.
Yes, it's true. It's true. So yeah, that's kind of my impression I got from it anyway. It's like, I'm not trying to call anybody out.
I don't agree with you.
Yeah, that's fair.
The end.
Yeah.
But I do definitely appreciate there is a very nice thing with like the story of how the way Sad Futago sort of released this or teased thing was I think very well done. It had that it's got that like couple steps removed thing where it like the first level would be hey, check this out, I saw this cool thing, and then people would be like, oh, how did you see that, and all that stuff. Like if you didn't want to reveal that it was a mod, just be like,
Right.
hey, check out this thing I found.
Yeah.
And then the next level would be him going like would be if he posted something that was like, I saw this. This is something I saw, but like I didn't do it myself.
Yeah.
But this is something I saw, so that way people couldn't like question him on it.
Exactly.
But what he did, was he posted a message being like, I got to this place in the game. My friend can't get there.
Yeah.
And I showed him like how to get there, but it isn't working for him. So it's like this like couple steps removed where it's like him going to the place isn't even really like he didn't really consider that to be like the big piece of info.
Yeah.
It was just like hey, could you help me out with this?
Yeah. Why doesn't this work on his copy of the game? Because it
And then
works
people are
online.
like, wait,
Yeah.
what? What is it? What are you doing there?
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, no matter what you think of this story, we're all very happy that it exists because it is one of the few pieces of video game news we have that isn't awful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's true.
And
It's just a kind of a fun thing. It has a nice ending.
Yeah, and I think the people involved in it, wisely cut the thing off. Like they didn't let it go forever. Like they cut it off after a day or two.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the community got all jazzed about it.
Yeah.
But they didn't like extend the whole thing longer
and
than
a
it
nice
should have.
a nice gaming community story is also always good because sometimes gaming community stories can go very bad. And
Yeah,
it's just
and
kind of
there-
like,
I-
here's something good that happened.
And like
It's
I
interesting.
haven't seen like a bunch of backlash of people being like, rah, people are just kind of, it's like, oh neat, that's really cool. I guess people might be slightly sad that it isn't some sort of viral marketing campaign, but
Well, I mean, not necessarily a viral marketing campaign, but maybe the idea that there isn't just like this weird secret that is new that has been discovered. There were a lot of tweets that were like, I mean, come on, it's Yoko Taro.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he? And I'm like, you know what? If I had that power in a video game, I would absolutely do one
Yeah.
different thing in one copy. I know somebody suggested the idea of like it's in every game, but the moment somebody actually finds it, it deletes it out of every game.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, and I'm like,
I
kind of want that.
love the idea. Yeah, that my favorite thing was somebody posted was like, it's on. There's it's on like a handful of games that were released. They had special versions of it, and you find that thing, and then you get a message from Yoko Taro who goes, "No one will believe you."
Yeah. Oh, what was there coming up?
It was John Cena. In
It was, yes. That's just a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
John Cena's in Fortnite.
Yeah,
There's
things
your,
to buy.
There's your fortnightly Fortnite
He's
news.
he got beaten by The Rock in terms of wrestlers in Fortnite. The Rock
true.
was already in Fortnite, but yeah, I mean it's this weird thing where wrestlers become are characters, even though John Cena is the guy's actual name.
Yeah.
What you play in the game in Fortnite is not John Cena, the actor and the person.
Yeah.
You're playing the
That incarnation of
the
him.
incarnation of him as the WWE superstar or whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, you mean I'm not going to be able to just act like a normal human being in Fortnite?
I mean, maybe you can just. I mean, there are places in Fortnite where you can just like wander
get
around
up
and do stuff.
Just dress like a default.
Grab the newspaper off the doorstep like some sort of 1950s cartoon and put my feet up by the fire.
I
With a,
mean,
with a
I would
pipe.
not be surprised that that was like a thing you could do in Fortnite. Now that they've taken out like the building mode. Anyway, let's talk about some other stories that we didn't get to in the actual episode checkpoint. Starting with Space War Arena,
Okay.
which is a Starship Combat game that came out
In
a
2019?
couple years ago. Yeah, 2019. Looks like kind of a neat game. It's like there's like two big space stations on either side of the screen, and you like shoot. You set up like
Fighter craft?
yeah, fleets to attack each other, and you have to try to destroy the other person's base and stuff. It's sort of a PvP thing.
And it's not like an EVE Online type situation where it's like capital ship battles that are like take weeks to organize or whatever. It's
No.
literally like you jump in, you can play this, you can get out. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's sort of a 2D-ish thing, like it's going in. But one of the interesting things about it, which is in the headline for where this story is reported a lot, is that it's made by a bunch of the team that was originally made the Echo the Dolphin games.
Yeah.
It doesn't have anything to do with Echo the Dolphin.
No.
It is not in any way dolphin related, but that's just a cool fact.
Is that really like that's the game that people know these people for? It's like a game that's that old.
I guess so, yeah. I mean, it's definitely a beloved game, but it's just one of those weird things where it's like Echo the Dolphin devs, dude. It's like they probably aren't like super happy that they'd probably rather people talk about them for being the dev of this game. But anyway, you'll be forgiven for not necessarily knowing that much about this Space War Arena because it hasn't been like ridiculously popular.
Sure.
Also, Space War Arena is like the most generic name.
Yeah, it really is.
It's
like
very descriptive.
if it's based on-
it sounds like a one of those like Chinese knockoff games in a mobile store.
It's like if it's a sequel to the original Space War, then that would be interesting.
Right.
Is it like in any way like the original Space War? It's a 2D top-down kind of thing. Maybe.
I don't know what Space War is.
Do you not remember the original Space War game from like the 60s or the 70s?
No.
How old are you?
I'm not from the 60s.
I see. So
You're not supposed to be either.
So Space War is like 1973, something like that, maybe 1969. It was a game made, I think, for the PDP-11 initially. So very old.
PDP-2.
Is it PDP-2?
I don't know. That's what
Oh,
Square.cube
they're
says.
saying it runs the PDP-2. So yeah, it was a top-down thing where each of you controlled a ship. Sometimes it'd be like a planet in the middle, and sometimes that planet would also have gravity. And you would fly around and you try to shoot the other guy. Very Asteroids-like. Very original two-player video game.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah. Okay. I mean, this might be sort of in the same realm of that, to be honest.
It has that same kind of like we're top-down, you're doing this thing, but yeah.
Yeah. Right. It's kind of it's got the star control thing, right? Anyway, why we're talking about this is the developers have put a bounty out for people to beat them at this game.
Yeah.
So they
that's
posted
more of a
this.
challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, they've said obviously we are the best in the world at this game.
Because no one else is playing it. Not to be rude, but
That's why we are willing to dangle $100 bill in front of anyone who can beat us.
yeah.
How long's the game?
If you've ever
Straight
seen those
cash.
videos of like devs react to speedrunners on
Yeah.
YouTube,
Yeah.
you'll know that developers are not necessarily the best in the world of their game.
No.
Sure, but I want to know how long a game is because I want to determine if
I think
$100 is actually worth it.
I think this is just like a PvP type
So
game.
it's like 3 to 5 minutes.
So it's just like a big.
Oh,
like I don't
that's
think
pretty
it's a
good
long
return
fight.
for like
yeah.
$100.
yeah. And also,
It's
you need
currently on sale for like. It's normally $5, but it's currently on sale for like $2.
so buy it.
So pretty good return.
Just buy it and play it a bit, and if you get pretty good, try playing the devs. I don't know how you would go about doing that, whatever, but like try playing the devs and win $100. And I think the idea being that it's like if we can just entice enough people to maybe win $100 off of playing this, we can just sell more copies of the game.
If the devs are the only ones playing this game, because that is what you proposed, then by buying the game and playing it, chances are good you're already challenging the devs.
Yeah, probably. Could be.
So anyway, it's the nut of this story is that they are challenging people. There will be weekly bounties, $100 for victories, for example, and the bounty opponents will be us, the devs of the game.
So Space War Arena, more like Space Cowboy Meet You at Noon.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought that was fun.
Yeah.
But the fact that the headline to this story is Echo the Dolphin devs are offering money to anyone who can beat them in their new game. It's probably annoying for them.
Yeah.
Well, at least they wrote the word new game, and not just game, so people don't think that they need to beat the devs at Echo the Dolphin.
It's like the game that we made like 20 years ago, and the IP is owned by Sega, so like we can't make it.
Maybe they put a space dolphin in Space War. That'd be
fun.
Interesting.
Little swimmy dolphin.
Flying around in space.
Now, I believe we previously talked about there's a speed running, very popular thing as we talked about. Speed running Nintendogs is a thing.
Yes.
Which I love the idea of that. The idea that it's like, oh, you need to pet the dog to make him happy. Okay. Pet
19 seconds, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, pet the dog, pet the dog, pet the dog, pet the dog.
Dog is happy.
It's like, do everything as quickly as possible. It's like, you're taking the dog for a walk and just like dragging it around like, go.
It's so illustrative of how in speedrunning, it's arbitrary categories.
Right.
Yeah. Define what you think constitutes a speed run, then do it, and then see if other people want to do it too and see if it means anything.
Is it faster to play this game with or without a screen protector?
Oh, because it would slow down
Well, it's a Nintendogs game.
Yeah,
those were part of the touch
you
series.
want to get close to the metal.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So
do you need to make sure you have a brand new screen protector in place because if yours wears down while you're doing your run, or
God, that'd be funny. Just a guy rips the screen protector off, slams a new one on. He's like, "Let's go." The challenge here specifically was to complete the agility challenges.
To get the
fastest time to place first.
To do the beginner contests.
Right. Okay.
So it's so basically, because of course Nintendogs, there's no like necessarily end to the game, but there's certain things you can do where your dog gets evaluated. So this is the fastest time to place first in all of the beginner contests. So obedience, disc throwing, and agility.
And one of the major things about this is, which I think is really funny, is that the dog's abilities that they're kind of born with, the specs that you get for your dog, are randomly generated.
Right. So
Not
it's like
huge things, but yeah,
it's like Pokemon or whatever,
yeah,
right? Like
your stats and whatnot.
Yeah, the stats. So so it turns out that the two important strategies for this. Now, this is not a very popular speedrunning category because it is quite RNG dependent. But the two strategies are, one, you give your dog a very short name, so it's faster to write
I could see that, yeah.
But also the opening stats that your dog has are very important. So basically, if you luck out, you can get a dog that's already really good at all this stuff and takes barely any time to train.
Right.
The problem is, and this is why speedrunning is a good thing to do in video games, but not in real life,
Oh no.
is that because you're speedrunning, how you do it, you just basically you're like, this dog is no good. Send him back. Give me a new dog. 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 You are not allowed to do that in real life.
I hate to tell you about what some of those dog competitions are really like.
You can't just
people who breed dogs, Paul.
Yeah.
It might be a little bit closer to home than you think.
It's not just about take the dog and put it in the yard. That's right.
Yeah, do not min-max your pets. Because actually training the dog The trick is you want to make sure you get one that is good already at basically all the stuff.
I mean, if you really want to speed run it, you get the cat, because cat can't enter any of the competitions.
Cat won't do anything you tell it.
It'll sort of jump after frisbees and stuff. The cat was super disappointing after getting one.
And apparently 11 minutes 6 seconds is the current speed run for that.
I do love the description of how the person who's trying to do it did like a really good run. It was like, we can do better than that, and then like immediately went back and did another one and then beat their own record. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, all right, well, I guess you can do better. Like,
it's the one more mentality.
Yeah.
There is a new Dragon Ball game coming out.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. They do like what, one of these a year?
Sure. Yeah.
Dragon Ball The Breakers.
Is it another fight game, or is
Sort
it
of.
Open world, or
Sort
is there
of.
story?
Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
It is based on stuff that happens in the series. So that's
They
a
all
story.
are.
Yeah.
So this is like a Dragon Ball game without the like the Z fighters.
Yeah, no heroes.
So
Villains
basically,
only.
they've taken a Dragon Ball game and they're making an asymmetrical multiplayer game a la Dead by Daylight or
Okay.
that kind of
sure.
thing. And so it's basically one player plays like Frieza or
Cell.
or
Boo?
Zarbon, I think is, or Boo. Yeah, I don't know if Boo is in it, but
Okay. But you play a villain.
one of the big bad guys, and then
Okay.
everybody else plays like civilians.
Mm-hmm. Human beings.
Oh no. Okay.
And
Not like Yamcha human beings either. Like, you're going to die human beings.
The human beings that constantly blow up in the skies, but we don't talk about them.
Yeah.
the human beings that are very quickly evacuated from various
Yeah.
cities.
Mhm. Don't worry, I definitely saw their parachutes coming out of that helicopter.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, you do get like some capsule core cool stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
And so you're not like just running around. I'm gonna die.
Yeah, because you have an objective.
Right. But basically, you are underpowered, and so the idea is you have to last long enough to find a super time machine to escape till safety, and of course the objective of the villain is to kill everybody. Which is like, it's one of those things where, you know, the power level, like, you know, Frieza like routinely just like blows up planets because he hates them.
Yeah. Part of me, so when you watch Dragon Ball Z especially, and you watch them have these big fights and destroy a lot of terrain, part of me does kind of wonder that if this game is answering the question of, what if we just didn't have the heroes, would there be less of a mess?
Yeah.
I mean, there'd be less people, ultimately. I mean, the planet would be
but,
secure.
You know, they do that thing, right, where it's like, oh, the heroes saved us, but look at all the destruction they caused.
Right.
We want to be angry at them. And it's like, well, what if they weren't there at all?
Yeah. This is what would happen instead. So basically, it's like you know, Goku putting it out there, being like, "Huh? Would you prefer this action, or would you prefer me to wreck some shit?"
I like this as an idea of like, Goku has made a video game happen to show civilians that they need them.
Yeah.
But then it turns out that civilians actually do a pretty good job in the video game.
Yeah.
It'd be really funny. Yeah.
I can just find. You mean if I just find a super time machine, I could just make all this stop? Okay, great.
They're going to be doing a network test August 5th and 6th for if you're on PS4 or Xbox One, Switch, or Windows.
So you can just download a copy of the client.
You can sign up and try test it out. So
Neat.
help them with their network test.
Definitely not making that 5 a.m. one.
It's weird because this is an aesthetic that I would prefer more than the Dead by Daylight one, because the creep factor, the horror factor of Dead by Daylight is like, I'm like, I could never play that. This I might be able to play and be like, I like this better.
Having a coat of paint that's like a little bit more cartoony or like superhero-esque instead of monsters and
Exactly,
shambly things.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Aesthetics do a lot for a person.
absolutely.
Speaking of aesthetics,
Like, why can't as an NPC I find like all 7 Dragon Balls and just wish them off the planet? Why do I have to find a time machine?
God, that'd be funny. It was just like, and we've hidden all 7 Dragon Balls in the level. If you can find them all, you can wish him away. And it's like, oh, okay,
That
cool.
seems plausible to me.
wish him to explode or
Yeah,
something.
I
Probably.
wish he would just blow up.
But speaking of aesthetics,
Mm-hmm.
Graham actually talked about this story in the
Briefly, yeah.
Yeah, at
in
the
the
end.
outro. In the mercenaries mode for Resident Evil Village, which is like sort of a PvP mode in Resident Evil Village, they're going to be adding some new characters. One of which is Lady Dimitrescu, which is very exciting for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
And she's
For a number of reasons.
She primarily like attacks with her giant freaky claws.
She's got claws.
Yeah.
Maybe she's the click click slide.
She can also hurl furniture at things.
Pulling it in a hammer space, essentially.
Yeah. She can also summon one of her daughters to like help out.
Oh, cool. Okay.
He's family. You gotta pitch in.
Yeah. Standing more than 9 feet tall, Lady Dimitrescu slices through enemies with her talons. Her unique thrill gauge increases by attacking enemies or by using the Lady's Lipstick item. As the thrill gauge increases, Lady Dimitrescu's movement speed and nail damage increase, and new moves are unlocked. When the gauge is maxed out, her damage will also be at its peak. And yeah, you can also summon one of her daughters to fight. There's also Chris Redfield has a bunch of guns and has just like a punch that can like knock out 5 people in one punch.
Right.
That's like his special move.
Is that just kind of always been a thing Chris could do? He has an incredibly strong arm.
Not that strong. Like
Not in.
he's a bit of a meat slab of a man.
Sure, yeah.
But like
He can't crack boulders.
But like, you know, at human levels.
Good. Okay. I thought there was some sort of weird thing that happened to him because
No, I think the difference here is within like a Resident Evil game where you're playing more of a horror style game, him having that kind of power would be maybe overpowered for the horror element,
yeah.
whereas this is a PvP game with horror addressing.
Right.
I guess, yeah. There's PvP, or I don't know if this is like PvP or like more of like a horde thing where like you're fighting zombies.
Yeah, but
attacking
it's
you.
not the same as like playing a
there's
horde
not actually like
in a-
it's not all
Okay.
scary. Yeah.
That's why they said he literally punched through a boulder in Resident Evil 5.
Oh.
So
Well, all
okay.
right.
Okay.
And there's another guy who the Heisenberg, who can he can like make things. He has like telekinetic powers and shoots saw blades at people.
All right.
And also he can summon a jet that does a bombing run.
Where do the saw blades come from? Are they in a gun? Is it a saw blade gun, or
No,
did
no,
it just
no.
come out
I
of his
think
arms?
they just come. No. He has telekinetic stuff, so he like picks it up
Oh,
with
okay.
his brain. And
All right.
Anyway.
He has
I wanna
magnekinesis. Oh, neat.
I want.
Oh, magnekinesis. Okay, not telekinetic. It's like telekinetic, but it only works with metal stuff.
It's
Yeah.
Magneto.
Ferrites.
Boopity boop boop.
I just want to rub my head on the microphone so bad.
Please don't.
Just call to the void. Just like
No.
Anyway.
Wait until we're offline.
Halo Infinite is going to be doing their multiplayer co-op campaign is currently in beta. So the game obviously has been out for a while now, but you couldn't play it co-op.
Okay.
But they've added that now, or they're working on adding that now. It's currently in beta. Unfortunately, they say there is no plans to add matchmaking to the co-op campaign.
Guess someone's gonna need friend codes.
Xbox suggests players use external tools like Discord.
Now,
Isn't Discord on Xbox?
yes,
Just recently.
Yeah. So of course they want people to use that.
right. So it's interesting because it's like, let's drive people towards this third-party service because we're interested in helping people, use Discord maybe more to kind of spread that stuff around. But also, it's weird to me because it means that it's like a big game using a third-party service they don't control to try to implement that.
And it seems I'm always it always seems weird. Like there was a thing about
Destiny 2.
Was it Call of it's like Call of Duty didn't have matchmaking.
Right.
It's like it seems weird that these games that are made, using existing engines and things, like you'd think that they would just have like a piece that they could put in that would be that functionality that they would have like existing.
Yeah, we've already built libraries to do this.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it should be that hard, but who knows?
It obviously is, but I think it's odd that like it makes sense to be like, well, rather than having to continually like re-implement or like to be plugging these pieces in that allow you to like find people and have to make it like game by game based or whatever, to be like, let's reach out to where fans are. Let's reach out to where fans are already trying to make this thing happen and just say, you know what, we'll drive the integration from there. And yeah, it's that idea of if we let a third-party service that's quite popular like Discord do it, the benefit is that we don't have to think so hard about trying to maintain this thing for a set number of years. As long as Discord is up, then people will always be able to play Halo Infinite with each other. And I know what you're about to say, so say it.
You don't have to moderate. You don't have to run that community. There's a bunch of jobs you don't have to maintain.
Very valuable, right? There's a whole bunch of things that you can offload to other people running that. You can also do your matchmaking through multiple Discords. So at that point, right? It's like if you can belong to one where all the pricks are, or you can belong to one where none of the pricks are. Like that kind of thing. It's like you can be matchmaking in ways and you can be forming communities like that.
And I mean, especially if you're you're talking co-op, right?
Yeah.
So it's like getting matched, having a thing set up where you get matched with a bunch of randos might not be a very good experience anyway.
Yeah.
So
now the downside is what happens when Discord goes under.
I mean, if you're Microsoft, you probably just buy it.
Yes.
I mean,
I feel like they might already own a chunk of Discord.
What game is this again?
Halo.
And how often do they put out a Halo?
Not that often.
Yeah, I know, every 10 years.
Every couple of years they put out a new one.
So it really only has to, like, if Discord goes down, they'll just make their own thing when they make a new Halo.
And it's weird to think about that, right? To be like, well, if you've built it, because I always assumed that the Xbox Live service, by belonging to that you are doing social and matchmaking in a way that is across the entire platform. It's not a based on game thing, right? So to hear that it's for them to be like, oh yeah, no, we don't need to do it through Halo Infinite. We just let people who are already in Discord interacting with each other, making friends, having community, playing other games. Let them build a Halo thing as well. Let them play with all their buddies as well. That's what people want to do. They don't want to have to keep, I have to find all my friends again in this new game. I have to find my friends again in this other game. And it's just like, yeah, why not just let this kind of discovery take over? But there is that idea of now Discord has complete control over how people will interact on games. And so what if they want to change their service somehow? What if they want to change how the service gets paid for?
That's why generally your matchmaking involves whatever your gamer tag is for the system as opposed to just the game.
Yeah. And I mean, Xbox Live encompasses a very wide range of services.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there is some sort of socially aspects to it, but it's not so much that.
Yeah.
It's an odd thing. It's hard to kind of nail down, especially since what is and is not part of Xbox Live changes all the time, depending on what features they're trying to promote.
I think this is like, because I was kind of like, oh no, and then I think about it more and I'm like, oh wait, this is, I think, probably a pretty cool thing to try for a bit. And I know there's the slippery slope argument of like you're letting another company like have complete control over how you do stuff. I'm like, but maybe it works out as a net benefit.
I mean, I think it is just that, like, it does feel very much like kind of punting the, like, we're not going to pay attention to it. You guys can do whatever you want. Mm-hmm. Like the sort of Nintendo friend codes thing. But it's especially for a game like Halo, which is sort of a flagship game for Microsoft. It seems weird to offload part of it. But.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nintendo friend codes used to be done game by game, and if you put that game into a different device, the friend code changed.
Yeah,
It's not
Just
friendly.
saying.
miserable idea.
They've gone to a friend code for your entire Switch system is much better than it used to be. It could be better, I'll agree. But I remember those days, and I played those games. So I don't complain too hard right now.
You know what else is a miserable system?
Oh no, what? Tell me, Paul, I need to know. What's the miserable system?
The Amico, the...
NFT Worlds.
I was going to say Polium.
Oh,
but
well,
I'm
sure,
close.
sure.
Those are the folks who were upset that Microsoft or Mojang
Said no to NFTs.
said that you can't use NFTs because they were selling NFTs based on
Seeds.
Right?
right world seeds.
Yeah.
For
Didn't they say they were going to go off and make their own NFTs with their...
well,
Their
no,
own
they're
game.
gonna go off and make their own Minecraft game.
Right, so that they can make NFTs of that.
Yeah.
People were even speculating. It's like, oh, that's Mind Test. That's what it's going to be. Is it's just going to take Mind Test and like extend it. Who knows? But
There's lots of Minecraft alikes. They could just go ask one of them.
yeah,
I mean, they should. I don't want this company to succeed. That, so maybe not.
yeah.
But
I think we had made like half a phrase mentioned of the fact that they're going to go off and make their own Minecraft with blackjack and hookers, and that was about it.
well, because it's the obvious joke to go with, right?
But there's now much more of a story to this because.
Well, I mean, before it was that they were looking at their options.
Yeah.
One of which might be to go off and make their own Minecraft game,
Yeah.
and apparently that's what they have
Decided to do.
decided. Yeah.
Have they given a name of what they're going to call it? I'd like to know what to avoid.
Dowcraft.
You know, I don't think so. Yeah, they haven't given it a name. They haven't given a name yet, but
All right.
NFT Worlds is characterizing this split as a Web 2 versus Web 3 battle between two different versions of the future of the web and a technological struggle over who will have ownership of digital assets.
Don't have a lot going on.
They
do
are protectors of the spirit of innovation through independent creators, while Microsoft is an obsessed behemoth that will always act in the interest of their shareholders and balance sheet to the detriment of innovation, player experience, and creditors or creators.
That's not a bad way to kind of read Microsoft. It's true, but still, it's like, and you're telling me you're not going to work to the benefit of your shareholders, i.e., people who are paying for NFTs from you?
I feel like somebody tried to write the Star Wars crawl.
Yeah. Oh Christ, that's funny. I mean, if the idea is like as creators they're going to make something new, then like I can't wait to see like 6 months to a year to 2 years, maybe 5 years by the time they actually get something out the door.
Maybe they'll just have a game jam weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like there's a certain trend in programming, people who do a lot of like programming and stuff, not only about video games but other utility type things.
Yeah.
Where people are like, I can't believe people, buy this thing.
Mm-hmm.
I could make it in a weekend.
Yes.
Right. There's this idea of like, it's like Minecraft, is like, it's fundamentally pretty simple. This is the mindset.
Yeah.
Minecraft is fundamentally pretty simple as a thing. It's
All
big,
the blocks are the same
all
size.
blocks moving around and stuff.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that hard to just like make it basically.
Yeah.
Without obviously the devil's in the details on these
Yeah.
things, or that often happens with stuff like Slack, where it's like, I hate Slack. It's got all this stuff that really bugs me. It's basically just like a wrapper over an IRC client.
Yeah.
I could do this in a weekend.
I mean,
And then they're like, well, so why don't you? And they're like, well, maybe I will.
Yeah.
I've definitely known that there are certain things I've seen, like crafting wise, where I've looked at it and one like, I could technically do that in a weekend if I crunched really hard and did all the work, and I'm not going to.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the they've announced they will create a new game that's based on many of the core mechanics of Minecraft, but will be completely untethered from the policy and enforcement of Microsoft and Mojang have over Minecraft. NFT Worlds promises the new Minecraft-style game will be built from the ground up to be familiar to Minecraft players, but now with, and I like this, the modernization and active development Minecraft has been missing for years.
Do they want everything to be spheres now?
Wow.
Like what?
If it and also if you watch, say, for instance, James's or the
Mine
O'Clock, you know that Minecraft literally a couple months ago had one of their biggest updates they've ever done,
Yeah.
where they changed everything around. The idea that they haven't been that it hasn't been in active development.
Chat, I know you're saying hexagons, and I love hexagons, which is why I really don't want them to go with hexagons. Perfect shape should not be given to this.
It's just kind of. I welcome this because I think they should fuck off and leave us alone. Like by and large, the whole NFT thing is, I'm like, I would love it so much if you guys are like, well, we can do it better and we can do it. Great, go away and do it better, I guess, and get the fuck out of everything else that it is that people are actually trying to do in the real world, and have your little weird, but knowing that it's it's just gonna come back and make things bad for everybody else, because it'd be like, oh, there's this terrible thing going on over here and it's leaking and it's getting all over everything.
I mean, I am kind of curious in one way to know what they think the core mechanics of Minecraft are. And what the modernization
it's
that they're
pay
missing
money
is.
for a randomly generated number, and then that's the core mechanic of Minecraft as far as they're concerned, because that's what they're trying to sell.
But that's not.
And now they're trying to they're basically trying to figure out a game.
That's their core of what their business is, but that's not a core Minecraft.
It would be funny as
mechanic.
hell if they started making a Minecraft clone and really put a lot of time into it and devoted themselves wholeheartedly into doing that. And after 3 years, they release a really cool client and they get it out there and they realize, oh shit, we're just game developers now. We're just making games. We're not actually we're not scamming people like we set out to do in the first place. I've abandoned my core philosophy.
I don't really want to make NFTs anymore.
You want the robbers who take over the bakery to actually like making cookies instead of robbing the bank.
Yeah, exactly, right? They're just like, oh, this is actually really fun.
We should watch that movie again.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
It's so but there is this sort of development programmer idea of the I get the general idea of how to make a thing like this, therefore I could make a thing like this. With the idea, with this sort of idea that it's once you can get the core concept, everything else is just a few little details.
Yeah,
it's all the thinking up the original idea. That's the hard part, right?
And it turns out that the polishing, the few little details, is actually 95% of the whole thing. So anyway, that's all the stories.
NFT World, I hope you burn to the ground.
Do you remember the name of that movie?
Nope.
Okay.
We discussed that last night, the idea that I don't remember names and I make up other names.
Yes, sorry.
It's the cookie robbery movie.
Right.
So you're supposed to remember these things
The
for
Great
me.
Cookie Robbery. The Muppets present The Great Cookie Robbery.
I mean, I would totally watch it with Muppets.
That's true. Choco Tacos did get discontinued. That's not strictly video game news.
Sure isn't.
But it is important.
So apparently they're like an ice cream thing?
Yeah, it's an ice cream sandwich. But
Choco Tacos got discontinued, and we've never had them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Well, I've seen
in
pictures
some
of
ways,
them now.
in some ways, maybe it's better to not have that loss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or maybe, maybe it's better to have loved and lost. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they say.
Do you regret the Choco Tacos you've eaten because you know that you will never experience that again, or do you, or do you,
Do you wish that you've never eaten one because the pain is too great?
Do you envy the people who have never had that experience?
I feel like I can simulate the experience by getting some waffle wafers, or just getting a couple waffle cones, smashing them to pieces, and like rolling some ice cream in them, and then drizzling some chocolate and nuts on top, and being like, "Great, now I will eat this. That is what I'm eating now." It's like
I just like the name Choco Taco.
yeah, I think everybody does.
It's a fun name to say.
Yeah.
There's definitely an aspect with ice cream treats where if you take, you got your ice cream, you got your chocolate, nuts,
Got some crunchy stuff.
some like waffle cone things.
Yeah.
Like you can basically put it in any form.
Yeah.
And it's going to be good.
Yeah. You can
put some caramel in it. Like what
you could call it.
You could just you could have it in a bowl. You could have it as like a cornetto kind of thing.
Yeah.
You could just mash it all up into a
little pint container and call it Americone Dream.
Yeah.
Or you can call it O Conida, and it doesn't fucking matter.
Welcome to ChillPoint, where we discuss
Steven,
the various
it doesn't matter.
ways of
It's
eating
just
ice cream.
Stephen.
what?
Stephen Colbert got so kind of like, oh, I'm indignant.
You didn't even
and he
watch
watched it,
the
but
video.
He was he's funny and indignant about it. They've changed my thing.
Yeah. The reason he's not indignant because it's not American.
Yeah.
He's indignant because it was literally had his face on it.
And now it's not anymore.
And now it's not. And it's not in Canada. I think that's a reasonable thing to be indignant about.
And we used to have it too, which is the thing. We used to have Americone Dream here, and then at some point they changed it to O Conida, and I was kind of like, yeah, I mean, makes sense to me. Why wouldn't you? Right? Different markets. Probably more people buy it.
Yeah, if it was like if they just called it like I don't know whatever cone bear.
Oh, that'd be really funny.
Something I don't know.
Yeah, maybe
The
that's
Lake
just
Cone with Stephen Conebear.
Maybe that's the solution. He just needs an actual ice cream title with his name in it.
Oh, that could be a thing.
Anyway, thank you everybody for joining us for ChillPoint. We talked about a lot of video game news, but coming up on the show, on the stream, the channel, it's Friday Night Paper Fight, where Wheeler and Alex
are we playing Highlander tonight?
Going to be playing Highlander. Looks like we may not have Surge with us due to bees.
No, wasps.
Wasps.
He stepped on a wasp nest.
He stepped on a wasp nest.
Yeah.
As far as we know, he is fine and okay.
I have no idea if this is even public knowledge that we should be sharing.
He tweeted about
Great.
it.
Okay.
But I want to say he's fine and okay, and enjoyed the new experienced the new sensation of being bitten by a wasp for the first time.
Yeah, he had not been previously stung.
Holy crap.
So yeah. He's had an eventful day.
What
and
a
it's
lovely
okay.
life he's lived.
It's okay for him to have this
He
life.
hella skis, and he's never been bit by a wasp. It's a weird sense, a weird amount of things this man has done in his life that don't coincide.
He's not deathly allergic or anything.
No.
So he's fine. He's just it just hurts.
Yeah.
So it will probably just be Wheeler and Alex tonight, but that'll be fun.
Yeah. I'll be there.
And it'll also be Beach
Beach's
because
line tech.
I'm not around tonight.
It will not be Beachlander.
No.
No, we know that for sure. It'll be actual
Beach is on
lander.
tech, so he's supposed to be pushing the tech buttons.
And being quiet.
I mean, that's an
we'll see what
ideal
happens with
state,
that.
but
Yeah.
I don't know based on last night.
Yeah.
But then tomorrow is Learning Bay Live, where stuff will probably happen. That is all that I can guarantee, that stuff will happen.
That is the tagline of our show.
What happens, we'll figure it out. Hopefully before the show starts.
Be a good thing to do.
And then on Sunday, continuing on with the Toho Spell Bubble. Has that been good?
We've made some modifications to the story parts because the story is
Toho.
not good.
What you've done is you've written Toho fanfic.
No.
Congratulations.
No.
You're part of the problem
No.
now.
Do not put that curse upon me. I know where you sleep, and I will have my revenge.
And then there may or may not be Shadowverse Sister Card. I thought I heard that
Wheeler might not be able
was
to do it.
not doing it on Sunday. But
That's fair.
Whatever the case, there will be crossing the streams where they're playing some Smash.
Smash?
Damn.
It's been a long
On
time
Monday.
since the Smash came around.
Yeah. They're gonna be smashing.
Is that live in Studio C or
Smash.
Studio A or?
I believe that will be live in one of those places.
Okay, cool. All right.
And then 9 o'clock, followed by more with the life and suffering of Sobrante.
I think he might wish there was the death.
And then more Phobia
Yeah.
on Let's Nope.
All right.
So lots of cool stuff coming up. Loadingrerun.com/live is the place to go to see the full schedule. Let's thank the people who subscribed during the stream. Starting with JobBot180 for 84 months.
Rubik Darkwill for 60 months.
Thermos for 80 months.
Kaboom Jr. for 26 months. Wait, 26 months, and also 26 is on your name. Great.
Lumberjack has gifted a sub.
Hey, Des Day at the end there for 55 months.
Enjoying this pop-in.
And are there some bits? Nope, no bits.
That's okay.
That's it.
No.
And yeah, for those asking, I have finished Stray on on Play It Forward. It was a lot of fun and adorable. And there are some deep feels going on as well.
Ooh.
But it was highly enjoyable. I recommend you either play it or watch me play it. Because it will be up on the YouTube channels.
Yes, that would go up on the VODs channel.
There'll be 3 streams of it.
It's the streams channel, yeah. There were 3 streams.
Uh,
They haven't. None of them have gone up yet, but they should be going up probably shortly.
And then I don't know what's going to be next for Play It Forward, but I'm sure it'll be somebody playing something cool.
I mean, I know what's next, but I don't think we've talked about it yet because it's still a little ways away.
Does Stray have an achievement that if you stand in front of a door and meow and they open the door and you don't go outside to get an achievement for that?
No, it does have an achievement for nuzzling 5 robots.
You know,
Like you can walk
Like in
up to
real
the
life.
robot and just like and just
Rub
like
its leg.
rub on its leg.
nice.
It also has an achievement for sleeping for an hour, where you can just
In
find a spot and
Game time or like
in-
real time?
in real time.
Okay.
So just leave the cat sleeping for an hour. And I got the achievement for meowing 100 times, I think. That wasn't like I
In a
didn't try.
row?
I didn't try for that. That was
Yeah.
just Nick. But
Smash that button.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's amazing.
Any
Speak-
achievements for watching people sing their entire song or anything like that?
No, but you do actually get to. There is a part where you give a robot. There's a robot like busker, and you have to go around like collect music for him, and you give him the music, and he plays it for you.
Cute.
Anyway, thanks everybody for watching, and
Hit up that Patreon, patreon.com/loadingreadyrun.
yes, that is one of the things you should do.
Yeah.
Or if you're watching this on YouTube, you should subscribe to this channel, the LRRVG YouTube channel.
Yes, also, I don't know if anyone's ever noticed this, but if you go and look at the playlists, I have made a separate ChillPoint channel playlist, a separate Checkpoint playlist, in case you monsters only want to watch one.
Right.
But if you want to watch them both, there's also a playlist for that.
Ooh.
Oh, they're interleaved.
Yes.
Wow.
So you can be like, Checkpoint, Chillpoint.
That's a lot of work.
People have been wanting like separate playlists for things for ages, and now you're finally getting them, so you
right.
better be using them.
Yeah.
We don't have analytics for that, do
No,
we?
we don't. I have
wish
no
we
way
did.
to know. Just tell me lies and tell me you're watching it.
Yeah, that's all. That's what matters.
I don't
all
need
right.
the truth. I just want to know that you're watching it.
Thanks everybody for watching, and we will talk to all y'all later.